Born and raised in Mumbai, singer-songwriter Nikitaa moved to LA for a few years to master her art. After a few independent hits and covers, she's poised to be the next breakthrough star thanks to her new song, Universe, which she co-wrote with Ash King.
I wanted to start with talking about your musical journey from Mumbai to LA. What made this journey happen? We're talking the best of both worlds, so how would you describe it from your perspective?
It was a great move. I actually moved on the advice of a friend. She's also an amazing singer-songwriter. Her name is Nikitaa. She's worked with some of the best, and she actually flew down here because, you know, we had the same vocal coach. She was teaching a couple workshops, and we started talking, and she pointed me to Musicians Institute, where I was in LA, where I studied.
So I got a question for you. Do you wanna build a universe with me? So I got a question for you. Do you wanna watch the stars collide? Tell me how to ride, 'cause I do.
Would you say music was always on the cards for your career, or did you have prior ideals and goals before you decided to take up this as your one true profession?
I think I always kind of wanted to do music. I always wanted to entertain. I always wanted to be on stage. My mom loves to tell the story. I was 3 years old and I was watching my cousin sister perform at a high school event. And I apparently turned to my mom and I was like, one day I'm gonna be up there. And and I pestered her until she got me vocal lessons and dance lessons. And, music's kind of been my whole life. It's been the thing that's always there for me, and it's always been my dream.
How would you describe your sound and your style?
I feel like my sound is definitely a blend of everything that I grew up with. My brother was super into rock music, like hardcore, like Metallica, AC/DC, Linkin Park, Led Zeppelin, the whole spectrum. And he was my idol growing up, so was I. Everything he listened to, I listened to. But at the same time, I was in the other room every summer with my mom, blasting Lata Mangeshkar and Asha Bhosle and singing along. So all of those influences sort of came together, and as I got older, discovering R&B and pop music, and obviously falling in love with that, and that's kind of mainly where my music lies. But it definitely has those influences. I love using Indian percussive instruments and string instruments, and I definitely do love a good rock or bluesy guitar in there. So I feel like it's a blend of all of those things for sure.
So if you had to pick one maybe genre or artist that you think really impacted your style or that you really look up to, what are some that you would name?
One person where I really made a connect, I think because it was a woman of color just slaying it, and I think everyone can agree, is Beyonce, and obviously Whitney Houston. Just being exposed to those two is a whole new level of just inspiration that I found. I think I was 12 or 13 when I got super obsessed with both of them, and all I would do was come home and sing Whitney Houston songs and Beyonce songs. And at one point my mom even started requesting do that one and do this one. I had a little audience. But those were definitely women that I was inspired by, especially because there wasn't a brown woman, a South Asian woman on the scene to be inspired by. That was the closest that I could get. And I do think as South Asians within the music industry, everybody owes a lot to African Americans within the music industry, but especially as South Asians within the music industry, I think that's been the closest thing for us to look up to. So we owe them a lot.
So I got a question for you. Do you wanna build a universe with me? So question for you. Do you wanna watch the stars collide? Join me on a ride. 'Cause I do.
So finalizing your sound, was that a process? Was there a certain moment that you remembered where you were like, okay, I got it, like it's gonna be in this type of realm? Or how did that work for you?
Yeah, it was definitely a process. So towards the end of music school, I was in music school for about 1.5 years, and then towards the end of music school, I started recording music with my producer, I like to call him my partner in crime, Mukund. He's in LA right now, and I'm in Mumbai. But when I started recording with him, we kind of like went on a journey. We just decided we're gonna spend a few months, like we spent like 6 months just banging out song after song after song, just trying to lock in what we really liked, what we didn't like, what we want to tweak. And I definitely think we had a couple moments there where it was like, oh, you know, like light bulb moments, like, oh, that's perfect, like that's what I want, like that's what I want to do. So it was definitely a process. It didn't just like, I didn't just come upon it one day like, okay, all of these things together. It was definitely a journey to get to it. And I'm still kind of discovering it, you know, it's still kind of evolving as it goes.
Now, given everything you've been through, where you are right now, do you feel like the universe is working in your favor?
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. 1000%. It definitely does feel like that. But I also feel like the universe is working in my favor because I put that much into myself. You know, you got to invest that much into yourself. Time, dedication, trust, faith, confidence, money, everything. Like, it takes all of that to, you know, get to where you want to go.
I got a question for you.